So, about a year ago, I boldly declared that I would not be allowing Tectone to play Arknights Enfield. And with all the recent Enfield announcements, many people have been asking me whether that will still be enforced. And the short answer is yes, it will still be enforced, because the thing is, Tectone is still spreading massive misinformation about Arknights to this day. I know this to be the case because I wrote some software to track whenever Tectone mentioned Arknights in his social media feed. And sure enough, I found in the past year on a podcast he does on another YouTube channel, he still insists Spectre is a boss killer.
And I said Spectre was a boss killer. Because if you get this character, you max it out level 80, right, you can use them as a boss killer.
Okay.
Okay? And you put them in front of the boss, and they have this button that says they cannot die for 15 seconds. And they are doing insane damage. So the boss should one-shot a normal unit, but with Spectre, they don't.
Right.
Because they can't die. It's like Tryndamere in League of Legends. So you grind, dead. And I use it as a boss killer. A year and a half later.
Right.
But then 3 months later, Tectone contradicts himself and says Spectre is not a boss killer, and that he was forced to say that for an ad.
This one guy, I was talking to him in his chat. His name's Box too. He's a Arknights. He makes Arknights content. And he's like, dude, I'm a huge fan. But what the fuck are you talking about Spectre being a boss killer in Arknights? And then I'm like, yeah, why the fuck did I say that? You know what I realized?
What?
Arknights themselves told me to say that. And I have proof.
And honestly, you guys, I think Tectone is just coping here in a major way and hoping to grasp on the thinnest veil of plausible deniability he can. As a longtime Arknights Docta, I vividly recall February 7th of 2020, where Tectone promoted Spectre as a boss killer.
Spectre is a very good unit, okay? Unfortunately, she clashes in the same role with Scotty, aka a boss killer. Now,
this blatant misinformation caused me and so many other Doctas to waste both our IRL and in-game sanity. Before, Tectone had a pretty good track record with his advice, and I and many others felt like we could trust him, so him dropping the ball on calling Spectre a boss killer was like a massive blow to my nutsack. And I think this plausible deniability defense he gave of, oh, Arknights told me to say that, just doesn't take accountability. And the thing is, I'm a content creator. I just feel like us content creators need to take accountability for our actions. Anyways, luckily for Tectone, his co-host did pick up that he was coping in a major way and offered a much better defense.
So no, but even if you were being serious, like this character is this, and you're just like, wrong. Why does that piss people off so much? I'm confused.
So while this defense is a lot rhetorically better and would normally work, unfortunately it doesn't apply for an anime mobile game like Arknights. In anime mobile games, you only have a finite amount of resources that translate directly towards real-life currency. Therefore, us theory crafters in these communities are held to much higher standards than other gaming communities, as real money is on the line if you spread misinformation. So basically, Tectone wrongly saying Spectre is a boss killer is a form of financial robbery. Okay, so I just reinstalled Arknights, and I'm going to try and use my Spectre to kill this boss. Let's set her up, give her a healer, and activate. So as you can see, Spectre is struggling to kill the boss in a major. Actually, she's dead already. So Tectone also spread misinformation when he said she can't die in her skill.
They cannot die for 15 seconds.
Okay, gamers, let's try one more time to kill the boss. Yeah, she just isn't doing the damage I need. And now she just let the boss walk right through her. And dead again. That is the stage lost, which means I just lost money now, which isn't a good feeling. And considering $1 worth of Oregonite Prime yields us 130 sanity, and approximating the amount of sanity loss on the conservative end, we see that on average, losing a stage in Arknights costs you about 4 cents. And if we just take that one video at over 95,000 views right now, we see that this misinformation has costed at least $3,826.08. But putting all this major misinformation aside, what really annoyed me recently was that Tectone didn't appropriately defend Arknights as a good game when the popular streamer Asmongold started shitting on it.
I can't believe you played that fucking game, dude. Like,
What?
I watched that game.
Arknights?
That was the biggest joke of a game I ever seen. It looked like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
You know what it is?
Like, there were Flash games better than that in 2003. What happened?
Well, the Flash games didn't have big, hot, like...
Yeah,
movie
but
anime
like, I
logo.
mean, but actually they did, and you could even take their clothes off.
So as you just saw, Tectone just doesn't adequately defend the strategic complexities of Arknights, and instead he just deflects to a joke about big boob anime girls when that is not at all what Arknights is about. And I think this lack of willingness to defend how amazing of a video game Arknights is probably the main reason I will not welcome Tectone back into the Arknights community. Like, the thing is, what you all have to understand, and I know lots of YouTube viewers are socially unaware and therefore just don't get this, but what you all have to understand is that Tectone can beat Asmongold up. Like, easily. It wouldn't even be close. So given that Tectone can with ease beat Asmongold up, then he really shouldn't allow Asmongold to dictate the discourse here. Like, as someone who is often compared with Andrew Tate, Tectone exerted far too much womanly agreeableness energy in this exchange. And this isn't even the first time Tectone didn't act like a real man, but recently in a Genshin Impact theory crafting debate, Tectone refused to debate his opponent like a man.
Doesn't matter. You let me finish. You can say your piece afterwards. I will say my piece afterwards. We will discuss this cordially like men, and if you can't do that, I will leave the call.
Those
are my stipulations.
It's 2023, man. Saying the phrase "do it like men," it's a little bit, it's a little bit misogynistic.
And Tectone ended up utilizing the very womanly debate tactic of trolling his opponent, which unfortunately for his opponent, given that they are a full-time Genshin Impact theory crafter and hence sub 80 IQ, they just failed to detect this trolling.
I think I find meta players cringe when they tell
Oh,
me.
really? Do you want to
my
die?
game.
You want to die on the hill that you said you don't respect
Oh my
meta
God,
players?
are you threatening me? I'll have you know, I'm a former minor, man. You can't talk to me like that.
When did I threaten you? Can
You
you
said-
quit?
you
No,
said you
shut the fuck
wanna
up.
die?
Quit spouting bullshit. I didn't
Oh my
threaten
God,
you.
bro. You said
And his opponent had to leave the debate due to all this tomfoolery.
You know what? I'm done. We're done. See you later, Tectone, man. I would say it was fun, but I was losing brain cells the whole time.
cool.
And on the subject of Genshin Impact, I have since learned more about how Tectone has negatively impacted that community. And since I wasn't around the Genshin community at that time, I reached out to one of his victims to give me their first-hand experience. And I learned a lot from them. First, they accounted how Tectone shit-talked their girlfriend for no reason.
He was talking about my girlfriend, and he was calling her a sub DPS, and it hurts me a lot because I don't really see her that way, like.
Can you hold on? Can you just stop crying? That's not allowed on my channel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just a really traumatic memory for me, so I'm trying to work through it with my
start from the
therapist.
beginning. Who's your girlfriend?
Okay, so her name is Ganyu.
And after I calmed them down, the caller then let me know how Tectone made fun of an anime Chinese girl singing.
It's not the first time he's done this. He did this with Yoon too, which is her singing is really beautiful, and he doesn't really understand it. And I just can't really deal with it, man. It's just way too traumatic for me.
Okay.
She's literally
Again with the crying. My viewers are just gonna think you're being a massive pansy here. All right, you need to chill out. Take a breath.
Okay.
Start over. Who is this Yoon Jing? Who are you talking about?
So you know how so you know how Tectone's really hateful and horrible to young women and children. Well, she's both, and she did this really beautiful Chinese song, and he didn't really appreciate it in the way that he could have. He kind of traumatized his entire audience by saying that she wasn't really good at singing. That she doesn't really understand art in its purest form. I can't take it, dude. I can't do it anymore. It's just too beautiful for this world, and he's just mean to her all the time.
Okay, this entire
can't deal
interview,
with
you just
it.
can't stop crying. Fuck off. But probably the most personal grudge I have against Tectone is how he recently made fun of me being a Dota 2 player, which is a large part of my identity.
I'm going to keep it a buck. If you play Dota 2, that's because you're miserable. You're miserable, you're old, and you're depressed. And you couldn't get with the times of League of Legends. I'm sorry, guys. There is absolutely nobody underneath the age of 25 playing Dota 2. It's the truth, okay? And, you know, you can be upset about that. But, I mean, it's like playing World of Warcraft. Okay, you know you're depressed.
And given I have around 5,000 hours in Dota 2 and probably around 1,000 in the original Dota mod, I just found Tectone and his community shitting on 250 days of my life and calling me depressed to be kinda mean. Like, do I really sound depressed to you in any way? And everyone I know online and IRL plays League, and I'm just sick of being bullied by League players. Like, you all play the anime game and yet you bully us. Like, that is the opposite of how the world should function. Back in the day, people playing the anime game would be the ones bullied, and I guess I'm just jealous that League players get to play a game with actual hot anime waifus and not get bullied, and meanwhile the game I play, we get no hot anime girls, and actually, you know what, I'm just gonna install League at this point. Alright everyone, so that's all the main reasons that I will not be allowing Tectone back into the Arknights community come endfield launch. So hopefully that clears things up and you all can just stop asking about it.